God forbid we make up our own God. God forbid we make up our own way how to get to God. You don't do that with your car. If you got a Toyota, you take it to who? The Toyota dealership. Come on, my friend.
That's right.
You don't make up. I'm going to make up a way to trying to fix this car. You know what? Or ask your friend about it. What do you think? How should I handle this problem over? You know what? Read the manual. We get that with cars and computers. Why don't we get it with God, the creator of heaven and earth? He has ways of doing things. This is why the Bible is so important. This is why we need to read it for ourselves. It's so vital. And those that do have an edge up over those who don't. Amen. Not that they're better, they're just more knowledgeable. If they choose to operate by it, they're more blessed. Amen. Now, we know that God does not hear sinners. But if anyone is a worshiper of God and does his will, you like to worship, but are you doing his will, though? You got to put those two together. But if anyone is a worshiper of God and does his will, he hears him. Wow. God don't hear everybody. Now, this is important. Most folk in the world think God will hear everybody. No, he don't. He don't hear sinners. And I know sinners come across, especially in our common politically correct world now, calling people sinners. I'm not calling folks sinners. I'm reading the Bible, okay? Right. But sin means to miss the mark and be out of fellowship with God. Mm-hmm. People who have not received Christ, by definition, they're sinners. But that can change. That can easily change. Receive Christ, and they're not saying they're sinners anymore. That's right. And the reason why God views it that way, because a person is born in sin. When they're born in the world, God didn't make it that way. Adam started it out, and all the babies born since him and Eve are born in sin throughout the whole earth. That's why it's that way. Amen. Adam didn't create men and women. God did not create men and women to be in sin. They were perfect before God. Amen. But they sinned. They disobeyed. So their children, all up until us, born in sin. We have to make a decision to be born again. Amen. To come into the family of God. That was God's plan. That was the place of man in the beginning, part of God's family. Amen. This is why it's important that Jesus shed his blood to redeem us and give us an opportunity to make a decision on our own to invite Christ in our lives. But those outside of Christ, God has said, I don't hear them. The only prayer he would hear is that, Lord, save me. Save my soul. He'll hear that. The other stuff, they don't have a right. We just read it. I read it again. Now we know. In fact, the way he's writing it, everybody ought to know this. Everybody ought to know this one. And now we know, but everybody don't know. But he said, he's assuming everybody ought to know this one. And we know that God don't hear no sinners. So why do we want to mess around and sin and act like God going to hear us? I understand, sister, you want a husband, but you know what? You got to do it God's way. Yeah. Well, you trying to hook a husband? You know, that don't work. Could hook me a husband. Nah,